A very good evening to all the viewers. I'm Shivani Shrivastava, Relationships Manager at Global Education and Training Institute. I welcome you all this evening to this session with Mr. Vidya Bhushan Pandey. He is an academic in charge at Gandhi High School. He has worked at various managerial positions at companies like Vodafone, Aditya Birla Group, HCL, etc. I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
today he will be speaking on the role of holistic education, nurturing students for a better future. So, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Shivani Srivastav. I would like to heartily thank you as well, Dr. Sunita Gandhi, the founder of Global Education Training Institution. And because the platform GETI you have created, the founder Dr. Sunita Gandhi has created to bring people on this platform to share their ideas about education and how to improve it for a better future. Thank you again, Shivani. Now, today,
Thank you, sir.
hello everyone, hello viewers. Thanks for coming to this platform for listening this topic. We are going to discuss today about holistic development, nurturing students for a better future. First of all, if we talk about education, what is education? Education is a Latin word, edu plus, right? Edu plus cred. Education, it means bringing into light what we believe, that bringing into light. For us, students' mind, for some people, it is like a basket. A student's mind is not like a basket that we can put in, we can stuff into informations, data, facts, information, question, answers, so many things. That is not a basket to put in. A student's mind, it must be fertile to generate ideas, to think with creative, to think in an innovative way. That is the thing. Here, what we will talk about holistic development is that it is a type of education. Unlike in the conventional time, in the previous time, what we focused upon only one thing, and that was intellectual abilities, making students aware about the bookish knowledge, what is there, cramming of using different cramming techniques, learning of answers, questions, all the facts given in the book. That is not what education is. Education is a very broad concept. We need to understand. So now let's move to the first slide we are here to discuss upon. Now, holistic education is a new concept. It is a comprehensive approach in learning, not only about intellectual development. Yes, it is not only about conventional type, what we focus upon intellectual development, reading, writing, and doing some calculations, additions, multiplications, subtractions. But only intellectual development is all not that is important. We have to think about the abilities, physical abilities, mental abilities, intellectual abilities, cognitive development, that is mental development, and a lot of emotional abilities, how much a child is able to learn about himself and about other people, the surrounding in which he is grown up, how much he knows about the surrounding, the people around him, the relatives around him, friends, families, schoolmates, and all. So holistic, if you look at the word holistic, it means whole. Yeah, holistic means whole, not only intellectual, the academic, how much questions you can cram, how much questions you can answer, but how many questions you can ask. That is holistic development, where you have to be aware, a child has to be aware about what is happening around in his society. Having the book knowledge of the book is not all that enough. So we can get a degree, but that is not enough to lead a good life. So now let's go to the next slide. Here, now, what we see nowadays, as a parents, as a teachers, what we see, there is a behavioral changes among students, among children. They are exposed to a lot of problems. Nowadays, if you look at the COVID conditions, students they are having no class at all. They are at house and they are playing different games. They are becoming addicted to smartphones, mobile phones, and there are so many different games that making them aggressive. Virtues like sharing, caring, these are somehow missing in their life. So you can find their behavioral changes. They become aggressive, they become violent, they become arrogant, selfish. They don't want to share whatever they have with their cousins, the brothers, sisters, friend, and other people. It is like they are becoming self-centered. Laziness is also a problem there because of the routine is not followed properly at home by the parents, and it has become what you can say a matter of concern for parents and teachers as well. So lack of concentration, they are not paying attention to their studies what they used to do in the classroom in pre COVID situations. So which type of personality they are going to have? So what is a personality? A personality of a child, it depends upon two things. The first one is inheritance. What does a child gets from his father, mother, parental? No, so that is the inheritance. And the other thing is upbringing. The child have been brought up in which type of conditions? It depends upon the environment, the people around him. How has he been brought up? In which traditions, what cultures he or she had to follow? So a personality is a sum of total of inheritance and upbringing. So this is why the parents have a bigger role to play at home, because they come to school for 6 to 7 hours and rest of the time they are with their parents. Parents have a great influence on their children. Their behavior are mostly seen. You can see that if a family is there and a husband wives, if they are not having good relationships, they fight over petty issues, they have heated arguments. If a person, a male person, does not respect women in the family, so what you do you think that that child, when he will grow up, he will respect the other women? So upbringing, it fully depends upon the parents, and they have to create a very beautiful environment at home. Now see, look at the next slide. So education. Now coming to education. Education is not for transfer of learning. In a conventional mode of teaching, education, it means people think that education means transfer of learning. No, this is not transfer but transformation. Education must focus upon transformation, and that is why from time to time the curriculums have been redesigned and many new elements have been put into it to bring education to more effective, so that the child could become a great citizen in a time to come. That is why in the ancient time you would have heard about 3R. Even Mahatma Gandhi had mentioned it: reading, writing, and arithmetic. So merely having the knowledge of reading, writing, or arithmetic, however, arithmetic does not start with the R letter, but there is R in it. Arithmetic means the what ability to calculate, doing multiplications, additions, subtractions. So this 3R is not only important. There are 3H. There are 3H: head, heart, and hand. We need to focus, we need to shift our focus from 3R to 3H: head, heart, and hand. Now, what is head? Head is about intellectual development. Intellectual development, the knowledge, what we get from the teachers, we get in the books. That is important. I'm not saying that in holistic development means you have to ignore intellectual abilities. That is there. The knowledge of the book is important, but not only this, but you also have the knowledge of society, the knowledge of environment, the knowledge of the mental abilities, cognitive, intellectual. All these things are important. Means holistic means whole, taking everything together, not only bookish knowledge. So now I will talk about 3H, as told by Mahatma Gandhi, that any education is meaningless if it is not able to make a child fit for earning his livelihood tomorrow. What is the use of education if it can't give you good job? if it does not make you able to create jobs. Here, job does not mean only I don't want you to be a job seeker. I don't want to make my students a job seeker. I want to make them job givers too. They could be job creators. They can create global corporations and they can give jobs to millions of people like Google and other corporations. So, hand, the third H, head, heart, and hand. Hand means the education must focus upon enabling a child to get good job or to create jobs means do something for livelihood. Nowadays, what you see that there are thousands of engineering graduates churning out of engineering colleges, passing out of engineering colleges, but they lack in some basic qualities like personality development, language development, and the other skills. They are not what equipped properly in order to get occupied. So before getting occupied, one must be equipped first. So make yourself competent so that you can get into any job or you can create jobs. So head means having knowledge. Heart. Heart means how do you correlate yourself with other family members, other persons, your friends, your peer groups, your colleagues, your fellows, and other people. We live in a society. So a study should not be done in isolation. The education we have to bring everything together. Education about your surroundings, about environment, the people with whom you live. You must have knowledge about everything, the cultures of different countries, the people. Why? That is why the school is such an environment where the people from different diverse background, cultures, languages, creed, caste, race, they come into school and we learn from them. So education should be that 3H: head, improving your head, your mental ability, your intellectual ability. Heart, how do you adjust in a society? Yeah, you have some responsibility towards the society and other people. You have to think about that. And hand, to be able to to make what yourself competent, make yourself able to do something for your livelihood. Now look at the next slide and things will become very clear. Now, here, what I told you earlier about holistic, this is some people asked me that where does this holistic education started from? It started from Greece. Yeah, the Greece and other many local cultures. The holistic education started. It means, like I told you earlier, whole. Even yeah, holistic means taking everything whole. It is education which is not only about the bookish knowledge. So it teaches you about social skills because see, human beings, we are human and we live in a society. We can't live in isolation. We live in society, and so we have to learn how to treat other people. We have to work together. Tomorrow you will be joining corporate, yeah, different companies, or you can start your own enterprise. So you have to work as a team, you have to lead a team. So how to be a good team member, we have to learn that, and that is taught by holistic education. And coordination, see, today the teaching should not be what some people they create what environment of competition. You have to get ahead of each other. I had seen a movie, Three Idiots, in which it was shown that in order to get ahead, you have to pull leg, do the pull legging. No. Today, the world we are living in, we have to work on collaboration. We have to work as a team. Then only we can get ahead. Yes, collaboration, not competition. Don't compete yourself with other people. And yes, as a parents, I would like to request other parents or guardians not to feel this sense of competition among their children. Yeah, you have to do better than him or her. No, we should not do that. We have to focus upon excellence, not competition. Focus upon excellence, then success automatically will come to you. So never be what competitive. I have to do better than him. No, you focus upon your excellence and you will excel really. The first one, social skills. The education is meaningless if it does not give you this skill, the social skill, how to live in society, how to behave, treat, and adjust with other people, how to work in a team, as a team member, as a team leader, how to lead your group. One must learn this. Now second is physical ability. Physical ability means a child must be able to do the other extracurricular, co-curricular activities. Like I always said, no book is knowledge. Whatever in this book I have crammed, I have mugged up all the question answers. This does not guarantee what success. So this is parrotic learning, like a parrot, michu kature kature, right? So this learning will not help you in the long run. You have to learn social skills. The physical abilities means you can do painting, a child can do cutting, no, psychomotor, all these abilities he must uh, develop this. The making a clay models, typing on computer keyboard or laptop keyboards, he must learn all these things. Now third comes emotional skills, emotional ability. It means how do you look at yourself. There are two types, interpersonal and intrapersonal. Your behavior with the other people. You are a student, your behavior with the other classmates, the other person, the teacher, your family members, relatives. How do you treat with them? How do you treat them? What is your behavior? What do you think about them? One has to focus upon this. The other one is intellectual. See, this is the intellectual ability means how do you analyze your understanding, experience. If there is a problem, that real life situations come when you are there and there is a problem, so how will you deal with that? So every child, every student must be taught to face this difficulties and how to overcome that, because parents or teachers will not be there every time to help that child. He has to face that on himself or herself. He has to learn this, she has to learn this. Now look at the next slide. So holistically means the whole, holistic education. Now we will move to, now there are 9 gems. Yes, being a teacher for many years, I also have experienced this, and because I'm associated with the Gandhi High School, Patna. So what I have felt that in the previous time, there are many schools that who fully what they focus upon cramming of questions, answer, write down this, learn these 10 answers, and you can do well in examinations. So somehow we are becoming a part of the blind race. No, somehow we are becoming the a part of the blind race where we are running fast, but we don't know where are we heading, where are we going, which type of race that we have become a part of. We are cramming questions, answers, theories, concept, calculations. We are doing, equations. So what is this and what is for? Now there are 9 gems that I will be talking to you. The first one is academic excellence. How better you can do in your schools, in your class. What is your performance? You have to focus upon it. Number two is that personality development. Personality development. Personality, now soft skill has become a part of this personality development, and in many management colleges this has been added to the curriculum, and every engineer graduate or management graduates, they are taught this at the end of the session, because they will be facing interviews, and how will they do better in those interviews. So they have to learn that. Now the other one is that community and care, because we live in a community. I already told you that we live in a community, we cannot live in isolation. So how much you think about community, the care, yeah, whatever the step you are going to take today, how it will affect the society and the people who are at margins. Even in the Gandhiji's Tilism, I would like to quote here, I would like to mention here that when you open the first page of NCRT books, there is given the Gandhi's Tilism. And there is a message of Gandhi's this, that everyone, but how many of us read those pages? We have to focus upon that. Now, the other is sports excellence. It is truly said that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body. A healthy mind lives in a healthy body. So in order to make your mind healthy, you have to stay healthy. So children should be taught to actively participate in different games, sports, outdoor games. What we see nowadays, that children, especially I will tell you about especially this corona pandemic time, that we are having no regular classes, and that is why students they are at home, and they are spending a lot of time over mobile phones. Not all, but some people, and also because parents have their own duties to perform. They are busy in their offices and other work, so children they are at home and they are giving a lot of time to mobile games and different games, and this is not good for them. So sports is important, but not the game that we play on the mobile, but outdoor games where we have to do some physical activities. So we need to help children to participate in different games, even at school levels or college levels or local level, or even in the local park. Children can go and they can enjoy different games where they learn collaboration, they learn about teamwork, they learn about how they have to work together in order to win the match. So sports should be there in every child's life as a regular activity. Now, coming to visual and performing arts, the school can provide a better platform for this. And the other thing I will tell you about entrepreneurial. Yeah, starting your own enterprise, entrepreneurship development. The sense should be put into the children. What I say that new education policy 2020, recently this year our government they have just designed, and now it is in effective from 2022, new education policy 2020. There have been given special emphasis upon uh, what you can say professional studies, the studies about business, the studies about different vocational courses. What happened in the previous time that people they pass out of their college, but they don't know what to do for their livelihood. They have the degree but not the skills with them. But now I would like to thank our present this government at the center who have come up with new education policy where the entrepreneurship and how to make people, how to enable them to start their own enterprises, not only depend upon the government to I will get a job. Don't be a job seeker, but be a job creator. That this thing has been added. Now coming to next one is that innovation and creativity. This is the need of the hour. Innovation. Innovation means how you can do something new, doing the same thing but in a different way. Creativity. So this is what makes every child different. So today we are living in 21st century. So innovation is the key to success. How can you come up with different ideas, innovate yourself, innovate your strategy, your products, your plan, your offering? As a business person, you have to think about it. So this thing should be taught in the children at management schools, at colleges. And now next one is universal values and ethics. Universal values are important. Why? Because we are living now in a globalized world. Globalization. We cannot live in isolation. We have to think about everyone. Mahatma Gandhi had said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is my home, and all people they are all my family members. So you have to think about others too. You have to take them together. You one child or learner or student should not be taught about his culture, his identity, his country, or his language, but we are living in a globalized world. So we have to learn about other people, how to respect their culture, how to respect their religion, their ethnicity, their community, their language. So we have to make them sensitive towards others' culture and religions. Now, the last is skill development, a skill that makes you able to live a good life. A skill, be it language skill or a skill in any trade. So only having the knowledge about concept formulas is all not that enough. A child, learner, student has to be a skilled person so that he can get occupied. Now moving to next slide, students. Yes, in the next slide, what we see in this picture, the frustration. Children, they are under stress because we parents we have higher expectations as parents or as guardians or as teachers. They want more from their children, and The children, that is why they are in under stress. They are under stress. They have a lot of tensions to do this homework, to do that, tension about marks, about percentage. So this is why that we see many cases of suicidal attempts when the results are declared. However, I always think this is bad. The children, they are taught in such a way that if you get this mark, we will not give you this or that. If you get this and that, so there should not be any type of things, any pressure on the children. Let them enjoy the learning. Learning must be enjoyable. Learning should be full of fun. Don't make it something a tension area or a stress area. Don't put extra unnecessary burden on the children. We have to teach them, we have to train them how to handle problems and overcome these problems. Life is a place where difficulties, where struggles, it's a common thing. Life is full of struggles, and learning is a lifelong process. And if parents or teachers, they put pressure on the children to learn something, to do this and do that, don't do this extra unnecessary pressure on the children can hamper them. So this must be avoided. Growing crime rates among the children, yes, growing crime rates, smoking or gambling, wasting a lot of time on computers, on mobile games, violence, fighting, they are becoming selfish. So there is a lack of motivation among children, and sometimes they become addicted to other things. So we have to stop them, we have to nourish them. What Supreme Court of India said in a judgment on 4th July 2013, that the judgment of the Supreme Court, the present education system in the country has failed to achieve its objective, and it has to be reformed immediately. And now we have the new education policy, where the pressure is not about learning about on rote learning, but about learning of concepts, self actualization, self realization. Yes, so these things have been added in the new education policy 2020. Now, see the next slide. So, it is talking about where are we heading? Why holistic education? What is the need of holistic education? Now, what I told you in the first slide, that this is not mere education, that learning of facts, figures, learning of statistics, learning about reading, writing, or doing calculations. Holistic is beyond this. This is just a part of intellectual ability, but holistic means mental, social, intrapersonal relationship, how you live in society, you think about other communities. This is the holistic education. This is the need of our to rethink our current situation, where we are and where we are heading. Rethink our current education system. A holistic education offers an exciting alternative. In the past decades, our knowledge regarding childhood development and teaching methodologies have expanded. Now we want more from our children. So they are in pressure, and sometime they take some steps that should not have been taken. Now coming to the next slide. How can they become a full rounded personality? Now we shall move to the next slide. Hmm. Now, globally, if you think, you can look at some countries who have done tremendously good job in education policy. The countries like Singapore, countries like Hong Kong, Bhutan, Japan, Ireland. These are such countries that who have developed a very effective education policies to train their young generation to lead a good life and to become a good citizen for the country tomorrow. First, I would like to give you the example of Bhutan. Bhutan is a very small country at the foothills of Himalayas, at the fringe of Himalaya. Bhutan, what we focus in India, It is about a GDP, right? GDP. We can measure the development of a nation, how we are growing, how we are progressing, leaping forward, how are we getting ahead. No, we measure from GDP, but in Bhutan, they don't calculate how much GDP they have achieved. They they focus upon, their main focus area is GNP, gross national happiness. A very small country, a very remotely located country, they focus upon gross national happiness, and that is the center of what? Center of world to holistic education. I told you some names like Hong Kong, Singapore, Ireland, Japan, Bhutan. These are the centers of holistic education because they don't focus upon cramming facts, figures. They focus upon how to live on this planet, how to be a good person, how to stay happy, how to stay healthy. Their performance is not just on the basis of how many objective questions a student has ticked correctly, how many questions objective they have put, they have ticked correctly. They are trained how to stay healthy. So a healthy atmosphere, healthy environment is created. Conducive environment is created in schools. Such education policy is adopted by Bhutan government. The universities like Bristol, Cambridge, Oxford, Edinburgh should follow their education policy. Yeah, the policy of Bhutan. And look at the other example of Japan. How a small country Japan is. And they are always disturbed by natural disasters like tsunamis, earthquake, volcanic eruptions. Even in the Second World War, the two cities, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, were ruined, were totally destroyed in bombarding in Second World War. Again, they stood up, and now they are moving ahead. They are leaping forward with head and shoulder. Today, they are progressing. Japan, how a small country is, and they are leaping forward because they never focus upon competition. They focus upon excellence, honesty, truthfulness, dutifulness. Every Japanese, they work for their country. Service above self. Service above self. Live for others is their motto. They are dedicated people, dedicated citizens. They work as a team, not isolation that a single individual is working. So they create synergy, one and one, not two, but they work as 1 plus 1, that becomes 11. A synergy created. Every Japanese, they work for their country, they work in collaboration. That is the nature, that is the way they work, and this is the reason why they are ahead of us. Now we shall move to the next slide. This is about how teachers or parents, they have a bigger role to play in the life of children. Now we have two examples, honeybee and the other is housefly, right? Fly. What a honeybee does, honeybee, it lives on nectar, it sucks nectar from flowers. If there is acres of land of filth and garbage, it will fly across acres and acres of land. And if there is a single flower in that dumping yard, the honeybee would sit there and suck nectar. There are so many filth and garbage and dump and trash is there, but honeybee identifies, recognizes there is a flower and it sits on that and suck the nectar. On the other hand, a housefly, when a housefly, it goes to a beautiful garden. So many flowers are blooming there with a beautiful fragrance of roses and different flowers. But housefly or fly that will discard everything. disregard those flowers, the beautiful flowers, the fragrant flowers, and it would sit on what? A rotten fruit or something, a rotten dead body or the other stinky thing. It will sit on the stool and would suck what? That juices of that dirty thing. What we want to teach our children, what we want them to become: a honeybee who can find goodness, or a fly who will always find negative things, who will find always problems. What we want to, which type of students we want to create? We want to see them as a honeybee or fly. The decision is ours. We have to think about it. Now, the other example is about Srinivas Ramanujam, the Indian great mathematician. However, he had a very short life, but he lived a great life. He had no formal training in mathematics, but he gave us number theory. Seeing his potential, one of the Professor Hardy of Cambridge, he invited Ramanujam, you come to Cambridge. And there, Professor Hardy, he mentored Ramanujam and he gave us number theory and different mathematical formulas. And today we know him. However, he had no formal training, formal education in mathematics. So here is the role of the teacher. What is there in the mind of student? What is there? What is the potential in the students? The teachers, the parents, they have to recognize the potential and they have to work to polish him, to groom him to become a full rounded personality. Now moving to next slide of Einstein. Einstein, when he was in a German school, he always had heated arguments with the history teacher, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown one day he asked a question that Einstein, tell me that how many soldiers died in the War of Waterloo? Yeah, how many soldiers died in the War of Waterloo? Then Einstein, he said, I don't know, sir. Why you don't know? I don't know because I have no interest in reading all these things and cramming these things. How many soldiers died? I don't see any point in this. Then Mr. Brown he became very angry and said, I think that what is your theory of education? If you think that this education is wrong, the theory, the policy that we are following here is wrong, what is Einstein's theory of education? Then Einstein replied, however, he was in what? He was in a that time middle school there in a German school. He said, how many soldiers died in the War of Waterloo? This question is meaningless. The question should be about why the two countries were at war with each other, how this war could have been averted. So this should be the question, not that how many soldiers died in the war. And then as a result, he was rusticated, he was expelled from the school, and without completing his diploma, he went to other diploma college and then he did his mathematics. He did the studies in mathematics. When was Einstein, when he was in school, one day his mother was very worried about him and he was taken to the principal. And the mother asked the principal, sir, what to do with this child because he is constantly doing bad in all the examinations and he's not doing good. So which subject should he choose for higher studies? Then the school principal replied, whatever the subject Einstein choose, it makes no sense. It does not matter because whatever he studies, he will never succeed in life. This was the statement of the principal about Einstein, who gave us the theory of relativity. E equal to mc square. This boring brother, Einstein was called boring brother by his school friends, and he gave us the theory of relativity E equal to mc square. Now, see in the next slide. Yeah, we will see this in next slide. This is Einstein because he didn't believe in the education system of that time in Germany. Because he said that everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. He did nothing. His life is good for nothing. He could not achieve anything in life because he never learned how to climb a tree. So similarly, every child has a unique potential, the unique abilities. The teachers, the parents, they need to recognize and nourish that person. Now, coming to next slide. Competition versus cooperation. We all, you might have heard the story of the rabbit and tortoise, where the rabbit, he was overconfident that I will win this race. However, the race began, and while running for a while, rabbit went to sleep under a tree, believing that tortoise will take a long time to cross this line, and I will reach there. Let me have some rest here under a shady tree. So his overconfidence made the tortoise winner, and rabbit lost the race. But what I see that there are two qualities. What rabbit possesses, the quality of rabbit is not there in the tortoise. And what tortoise is good in, rabbit can't do that. Tortoise can swim well in the river or any water body, but not a rabbit. So here, because of competition, tortoise won the race. But just in the case two, just change the scenario. If there is not land way, but there is a waterway also. There is a water in between, and then they have to reach to the finishing line. What will happen then? Yes, if there is a water in between, there is a pond or river or lake, and one has to cross that water body in order to reach to the finishing line. So there, what will happen? So here comes the collaboration. Rabbit can run faster, so he will help tortoise by taking him onto his back and will run faster till the river. And from there, the tortoise will do the work of swimming, taking rabbit on to his back. And then they both can cross that river, or be it pond or lake or anything. So they together, they both can win. So today, the world we are living in 21st century is the world of collaboration, working as a team, not working as a competitor. Now look at the next slide. Gandhian school of thought. Gandhi said about the 3H: head, heart, and hand. Now look the other. He also talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Now look at the other slides. Yes. Now, my teacher, my hero. Here comes the role of a teacher. A teacher is not a person that who can make a child memorize different questions, answers. A teacher is not a person of authority. He's not a dictator like Hitler. I am here with a stick, you'll do this, else I will beat you. No. He's a friend, he's a philosopher, he is a companion. A teacher is a person who is full of enthusiasm, the positive energies. He understands the hidden talent of each child. He does not judge a child. He does not rank children on the basis of their marks in the classroom. The topper, the second topper, the failures, no. First bencher, the last benchers, no. He is never involved in ranking the students. Ranking system was also opposed by Albert Einstein when he was in German school. So he should not grade the children. He should not rank the children. He should not put one above another. This should not be done by him. He is a traveling companion, a friend, a guide, a mentor. Yes, a torch bearer, a lighthouse, a storehouse of knowledge. A teacher is he, and he is a hero. Now, moving to next slides. Yes. Now, schools. School has a bigger role to play here because they have the responsibility, they have the system, they have the infrastructure, they have all those methodologies, the method, the procedures that is required by the learners in order to become full grown individual. They have to make a conducive environment in the school. Now coming to next slide. Yes, parent role. Like earlier I talked about, If parents are having good relationships, they respect each other, there is a very positive energy in the family. They have love for each other, they care for each other, they cooperate with each other, they share their things with each other, they care for each other, so they can make a good environment at home. And it is truly said that family is the first school for every child, and the parents are the first teachers. So the response of parents, the behavior of parents, their mindset, their thinking, their approach, it has direct influence, direct impact upon their children. The way you think, if parents they fight together in the family, if they lie, how can you expect that your children can speak the truth? You have to be humble, you have to be polite, you have to be what affectionate, you have to show mutual respect for each other, you have to create healthy hygienic environment in the family, you have to teach them about moral behavior. If parents are always busy in offices, they don't give time because of their obligations, their duties, so they have to carve out some special time, quality time. Yes, here I'm talking about quality, not quantity. They have to give quality time to their children. They can share some stories with them on the bedtime. While they go to sleep, they can share good stories with the children. So this will help the child to grow into a great person, a good person. Now coming to the other slide, because yeah, coming to other slide, because when the children come to school, before coming to school, children they are in comfort zone, they are at home with their parents, where everyone, their family members, they love the child, they take them into lap and they love them, they kiss them, they give them a lot of sweets and other things. Means everyone love that child when he is in the family or she is in the family. So from this comfort zone, that child enters the school, and if the school environment is not full of what friendliness, there should be friendly environment, supportive, so that the child can adjust to the new environment, because it's a school is a new place for that child. Now here comes the collective effort. Why I'm talking about collective effort? The role of upbringing of a child is not only with the parents or not only with the teachers, that I have got him admitted into good school. Now, as a father, as a mother, my responsibility is over. Now the school will teach him everything. No, the parents too, they have a bigger role to play in the upbringing of children. This is the collective effort. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. It is rightly said that building up a child is better than, yes, building up a child is better than repairing an adult. Thus the teachers, the parents, and the society too, they have a bigger role to play to make a child a full grown adult for tomorrow. And now we are moving to the next, the last slide of this live session, the innovation, passion, the respect. We have to teach children, but before teaching them, the parents have to be like that. They have to show respect in the family. How do they treat other female members, the mother, sister, daughter? If a person has good relationship with the other family members, collaboration, helping, sharing, caring, the environment of friendliness, then the child will also learn all these etiquettes from the family. Now moving to the last slide. Yes, the last slide. And thank you all for listening to me. Now if you have any question, you can put forward.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. I do have a question here for you. Like, how can the children bring about a balance between their mind and their bodies? Because, as you mentioned, that children are full of energy. They're always enthusiastic. So, how can they bring a balance so that their body and their, balance between their body and their minds?
Yeah, very valid questions, genuine questions you have asked, Shivani, about the balancing. And this is the thing that missing nowadays. The children, they are overburdened with the tension, the stress of doing homeworks, and you'll be surprised to learn that the 5 or 6 or 7 kgs full of books, the bag they carry over their shoulders, over their back. So they are living fully under stress. So the parental, here comes the role of the parents. They have the role to make the children aware about that, not taking too much issues with them, not taking too much tensions about their work. And also the teachers, they have to make comfortable zone even in the school, so that the children should not live under pressure all the time. The parents, the teachers, they have to sit together, talk to the child, and they have to nourish in a proper way. They have to give time, quality time, what I talk about, not quantity. 2 hours I sit with my child, no. Even if I sat for 10 minutes, I must give my quality time to the children. They have to talk with the children. And yes, parents must behave friendly with the children, so that if the child is in any problem, he will freely would like to share with you. So parents will have to become friends with their children, not Hitler type of dictator. And teachers too, they will have to make very comfort zone in the schools and at home, and not to give too much pressure on them about work, about this and that, so they can guide them in a proper way. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Miss Mukta Pandey says that a very informative and helpful session. Indeed, it was. I once again thank you, sir, for joining in and being a part of the Getty Live sessions.
Yeah.
I thank all the viewers for being here and listening to this session. With this,
Yeah.
we come to an end to this session. We'll meet again soon with another informative session. Until then, thank you, goodbye, and take care.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Getty.